This haul from JournalSay is so big it would not fit in a single box. Hi, I'm Erin, Stationery Tragic, and today I'm showing you a lot of stuff from JournalSay. Like, this is gonna be a long one, so go grab a coffee or something, yeah? Huge thanks to the folks at JournalSay for working with me on this video. I do want to mention that I personally did not pay for the stuff that's in this box because I'm a very lucky little bean. JournalSay reached out and offered me $150 US to spend on their shop to show you and to use stuff in my own journal going forward. Thank you so much for that, JournalSay. I appreciate it so much. I do also want to mention $150 worth of stationery is a lot, and this is not a normal amount of stuff to receive in one go. Like, if you have $150 US to spend on stationery and you want to do that, that's amazing. But if you also don't have that kind of budget, please don't compare this to the hauls of your own that are smaller, because this is unreasonable. I personally would not spend $150 US on stationery in one go. Like, JournalSay stuff is pretty affordable, right? Most of these stickers are like $2 or whatever, so I just wanted to mention that this is a lot of stationery and I am gonna have trouble storing it now. Let me just put these down so that I can be seen. If you're not familiar with JournalSay, they are an online stationery store based in China, and they say on their website that they believe that high quality products should be accessible to everyone regardless of their budget, which means if you go on JournalSay and look at some of their prices, you're going to be very impressed because they are very affordable. All of the prices in this video will be in US dollars because that's just kind of the most accessible, like, international one, but you can shop in your currency. On the JournalSay website there is a little like drop down where you can choose your currency, so you can pick the one that you want to shop in. I do also want to mention I am an affiliate of JournalSay's, so if you buy anything from the site, whether you're inspired by something you see in this video or you find something else in your travels and you use my code, which is Erin, E-R-I-N, you can get 8% off your purchase, which is always good. I will also make a little bit of a commission on that if you do make a purchase, but it won't cost you anything extra. It's just kind of JournalSay's way of saying thanks for sending you their way. I'm splitting the video kind of in two today, so there's going to be the practical and the pretty. The practical half of that is tools, storage, organization stuff, things like that, and the second half, the pretty half, is for all of the stickers, washi tape, papers, ephemera. Those categories have also been broken down into smaller chapters, so if you want to find something specifically in this video, you can use the scrolly bar along the bottom to see which chapter you're in. You can also jump into the video description. I've got it organized so that it's like video chapter, timestamp, and then the links to the things that I talk about in that time are in that section, so you should be able to find the links really easily. Of course, there are links to everything in the description. Those are affiliate links, just so you know. Now, have you got your cup of tea or coffee or other preferred beverage? Because we got a lot to get through. Okay, good. Let's get into it. Let's start out with the practical part of the video, the organization, tools, and storage. First of all, this clear container, which is perfect for storing washi tape. It comes in an 18 space version. I got the 15 space version, and if it's giving you deja vu, that's because I actually already have one of these boxes. I picked one up in my last JournalSay haul, and I have really enjoyed storing washi tape in it. I love that it's clear. You can see the ones that are inside. You can move around these internal spaces so that you can put different sized things in different sized areas and allow space for bigger washi tapes. Here is my existing one, all full, and I like that I'll be able to stack these on top of each other in my drawer, so it'll be easy to see all of my washi really quickly. I'm not into storing my stationery where I can see it. I like to put all of the mess away, so this is absolutely perfect for me. Similarly, we have this set of transparent drawers, which are very cute. These come in a few different colors. I've gone for the white, which is actually kind of more of a creamy color, but very, very cute. It's got these little drawers that come all the way out. They're quite deep. I've seen people use these for sticker storage, especially people who create their own stickers. I'm not currently doing that, but I thought it could be a cool way to store, again, washi tapes or stickers or other kinds of ephemera. You can separate them by color, you can separate them by size. It's also got these little spaces on the back where you could put hooks on your wall and hang it up if you wanted to. I just think this is a very versatile little piece, and also if you got them in different colors and stacked them, they'd look really cute. Alternatively, get them all in the same color and stack them if you need more storage space, but they are a very good option for smaller things, organizing little things. Even if you weren't coming from a journaling place, if you were doing other types of crafting things, I think these could be really handy to keep your stuff sorted. They also come with these little sticker sheets, which I thought was a nice touch. This was just included. They're Japanese desserts and stuff like that. It's very cute. I love the taiyaki. Very, very sweet. Literally. If you prefer your storage a little bit more ornate, this beautiful retro wooden storage box is probably a good option. They have a bunch of different designs for this. I picked the one that I think is the prettiest, but there are heaps of other ones. It reminds me of a jewelry box, right? Where you keep your treasures, a little treasure box. The top is textured like a little tapestry. It's so lovely. I love the closure. It's so ornate. I have no idea what I want to store in this just yet, but it's going to look great wherever I end up putting it, so that's always nice. You could even use this to give somebody a gift if you wanted to use this kind of in lieu of packaging, like wrapping a gift, or even putting a gift in this and then wrapping it all up together as a nice little ultra wonderful effect when they open their present. Big wow factor, you know? Lately I've found myself needing a bigger pencil case, so I picked this one up. I chose the purple colorway, but it does also come in a bunch of other colors. I've been going to sticker hangs at Stash World in Brisbane. It's like a stationery hangout night that we do once a month, and bring a bunch of stationery with us and all kind of journal together, and it's amazing and so much fun, but I could only fit so much in my little pencil case. And I'm not trying to be especially minimal when I go to sticker hangs, so I picked this one up. It has a few different pockets. The front one here has some pen loops inside and some little spots for you to tuck different things in. This pocket does also connect up to the greater cavern of the main big zip that is along the right side of what you can see on the screen right now, which is a bit strange. I would have assumed it would be separate somehow. You can't fit a tombow in this pocket, but you can fit it in the overall main cavern, which is what I'm peeking through to here. Let me just zip this one up and then I'll show you. So when you open it from the top, it's actually got these reinforced kind of handles here, like an old lady's handbag, if that makes sense, along the top. Not handles, but there's bars in there that help you to open it up so it'll stay open if you want it to. And there's that other pocket. You can see it through there. I don't understand why it's like this, because will your stuff stay organized when it's kicking around in your bag? But you can fit a whole lot of stuff in here, so I am still happy with it as a purchase. You can fit tombos in this part, if not the other. Like, look at this. I'm just gonna toss a bunch of washis in there. Like, these are pretty big ones. So much room still. Amazing. And I'm planning to cover this with some enamel pins as well, which is nice. There's one more pocket in the back, which you can fit tombos in this one, and it is actually separate to the rest of the pencil case, which is always nice. I love the color. It feels really durable. Overall very happy. Just wish that other pocket wasn't connected. Don't know why that is. This one looks like a pencil case, but it is not a pencil case. It is for digital electronic items. And I am someone who has a lot of those with a YouTube channel and a photography business, but I didn't want a boring one. I've been thinking about picking one of these up for a while for traveling purposes, but I didn't want a boring one. And they have pink ones on JournalSay, so of course I grabbed the pink one, didn't I? This is the same concept as a pencil case, except that you store things like charging cables and memory cards and batteries and whatever other electronic stuff you have. I'm just gonna put some stuff that was handy to my desk in as an example. So I've got my phone cable, I've got a memory card reader, one of my camera batteries for my wedding cameras, and just to give you an idea, just keeps all of this stuff organized when you're traveling around, whether that is traveling overseas or traveling interstate on a trip or just traveling around in your day-to-day life. This is a tiny, adorable single hole punch. Isn't it cute? I got one of these once in a stationery subscription box and I was like, what am I gonna do with this? And I got rid of it. And then one of my friends told me that she needed an unusual hole punch situation, and I was like, oh, I wish I hadn't got rid of that. So I actually got this for my friend. Ellie, this is coming your way very soon. If you have a folder, a binder, a Filofax, something that you need to put things in that doesn't have a conventional hole spacing, or if you're trying to put things in it that do not have holes punched on them already, you can just put them wherever you would like them to be with this. And I think it's amazing and so portable. Look at this. I'm showing you on black so you can see it very easily against the white backdrop of my notebook, but how convenient. And the circles of paper that you clip out go into this rubber bit at the bottom that holds it all in place, and that's the way that you clean up. So easy. I have been reading physical books for the first time in a very long time lately, and I realized I had no bookmarks, so these bookmarks are coming to my rescue. I picked the Sakura set, but they do have a few different other colorways that you can choose from. These are magnetic bookmarks, so they won't hurt your book at all. They won't crease the pages or anything like that. The magnets are quite gentle. They actually fold over the page. I'll show you in a book in a second, but let's take one off to look at it a bit closer. You get 6 of them, so if you're someone who reads multiple books at a time, this is very good. Here's one that I have actually decided not to finish, but I'm going to show you, for example, on one of the pages here anyway. You can just fold it over the top or the side or the bottom of the page, wherever you like. The magnets clip together, and then even if you are carrying your book upside down, your bookmark will not fall out of the book, and I do love that. I've gotten way too used to reading on Kindle, and I didn't own any bookmarks, and now I do, so thank you for saving me there, JournalSay. This is a set of 4 separate crafting tools, which I think is an amazing investment if you're new to bullet journaling or you haven't got your hands on some sticker tweezers yet. Not just about the tweezers though, I actually picked this setup because I wanted the glue pen. I've been after a glue pen for a really long time, but it does also come with this tool that you use to smooth down stickers, a set of tweezers. It's got this thing which claimed to be a knife of some sort, but when I pushed it out, it sort of looked more like an eraser to me, so I assumed that's what it is, but it still says knife. I don't know. If you know what's going on with this, please tell me, because I don't see how that would cut paper unless it has some kind of cover on it, but I don't understand. Anyway, and then the glue pen, which is kind of greeny yellow in color when you draw it out, but it dries very clear. That allows you to get into really intricate places on bits of ephemera that are laser cut and detailed. There's some that I'll show you later on that I think this would actually be perfect for. It's really just like a pen, except instead of pen ink, it has glue inside. Is that not amazing? I wish I'd had this ages ago, and I feel like I'm gonna go through it and I'm gonna need more. We're gonna talk about sticky notes now, which I'm giving their own heading because I have quite a few to show you here. I'm considering them an organization item, although you can use them decoratively as well. These ones are a clear, kind of long and skinny sticky note. I think these would be amazing for those of us who like to annotate books as we read, which is not me. But if you are that person, then fantastic. This has a little edge here that you can clip into a binder or a file of fax if you wanted to, which is handy if you're studying and you want to take this along with you to school or college or university. I love the color scheme, that they're like cute little pastels and they're a little bit transparent. So if you write on these, because they're a bit shiny, you're probably going to want to use a biro or an alcohol or oil-based pen. Other pens will just smear. It also has this little ruler along the top, although it's only in centimeters. Sorry, people who use inches. If you prefer a paper sticky note rather than a plasticky kind of shiny version, these ones are fantastic. They are a little bit wider. Look at the beautiful color palettes that they come in though. I went for a pink, an aqua blue, and a lilac. Again, I think these would be amazing for annotating books. They will stick out a bit further on the page edge and cover some more of the text, but I think you could make it work. You can even cut them in half if you wanted to. Because these are regular paper, any kind of pen will work well on these, but if you're using a gel pen, you don't want to close your book on it before it's had a chance to dry. We're moving on now to part 2 of the video, which is all of the pretty stuff that you stick in your journal. Starting off with a category I'm calling architecture, which is mostly windows, doors, frames, and little houses. Do these little houses not scream cottagecore vibes to you? Because they are screaming cottagecore vibes to me. These ones are actually transfer stickers, which I've never owned before, and I'm excited to give these cuties a little go in my journal at some point. They come with 2 sheets of designs with these lovely springtime kind of garden party vibes. I don't feel like that would be enough for a full bullet journal theme on its own, just this one pack, for me anyway, unless it was a very minimal design, but they would go very nicely with other ephemera. I love this little picket fence here, isn't it cute? But you do need to be careful with a transfer sticker about the order that you layer things on the page, because this actually goes directly onto the paper and you can't really layer it over other stuff. So there's instructions on the back here. You cut out the design that you want to place, you position it on the page with the plastic over the top, you rub over the top of it to transfer the design onto the paper, and then you peel off the backing. Kind of like a temporary tattoo, except without the water, and you don't put it on your skin, if that makes sense. Lucky I have this little rubbing tool thing now then, so that I can transfer these onto my page really easily. From just looking at these the way they are now, you would think these are more of a celestial thing, but see how it says travel etiquette on the top of the packaging here? I didn't realize this when I bought them, and I kind of wish I'd had these on holiday with me several months ago, but the stickers inside are actually amazing landmarks. I've found in here the Colosseum, they had Notre Dame in there as well. I was putting these out thinking they were going to be all moons and stars and stuff, and then they were definitely not that, but look how beautiful they are. If you like to travel journal, and especially if you're going to the places that are depicted on the stickers, this could be amazing for that, and I do wish I'd had them on my Europe trip. I could go through my journal and try and find spaces to put them, but I don't think I left any room, so I think I'm just gonna have to save these for next time. Also, look at that amazing iridescent reflection. You get a colored version and a clear version of each of the stickers, and I love iridescence, so that makes me very happy. I don't know what it is about me and stained glass windows lately, but I'm obsessed with them, and so when I saw these stickers I was like, yes, I have to have them, and I have to have them in 3 different colors. These are only $1.67, like, are you serious? Let me show you on the page so you can see them more clearly than through the packaging. There are other colors available as well beyond what I chose, but let's start with this blue version. You get 2 of each stained glass window, you get 5 of the designs in total, And again, with this beautiful reflection, so lovely. These are magical. I haven't decided how I want to use them yet, or if I'll use them all together, or if I'll use them in different separate themes. These are the kind of yellowy, orangey version. So incredibly beautiful, very Art Nouveau, especially the one in the center at the top, I think it's a little bit Rivendell almost. Maybe that's why I like it so much. And here's the purple colorway, which is probably my favorite. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. They are quite large though, and I usually find larger stickers harder to use in my journal, but I am up to the challenge, I'm gonna make it work. Again, with the doors and windows and gates, I don't know what it is, I'm just into them. Portals, I heard someone describe them as portals recently, and I like the idea of that. Something that takes you somewhere else. These ones are a little bit more English country garden than the previous, but I'm also obsessed with that as a general theme too. What's really interesting about this one, it's a paper booklet, and it comes with a version that is just a normal scrapbooking paper, and then a version that's almost on a transparent vellum, which I think is quite interesting. That could make for some really cool layering opportunities. Our next category is celestial ephemera, which I've been very into and stockpiling for October, and you will see some of this stuff in my October setup, I'm pretty sure. This one I grabbed 2 of. I've called it the ballerina set, although it does also have some very zodiac kind of feeling stuff, so that's why I'm putting it in the celestial category. You know I've been very into my fairies this year, and there are fairies and ballerinas in this set, which I think is so lovely. It's hard to find really nice ballerina ephemera, and these are quite gorgeous. And they also have these, like, I don't know, circle zodiac star things, which are really lovely too. Iridescent shine, and you get a gold version and a colored version of each of the stickers. I do very much love me the moon. I love having it in my journal in any form, so these stickers that have the moon with flowers and clouds around them are right up my alley. I love the deep blue of these ones, but if blue's not your jam but you do love the moon like I do, they do have these in a bunch of other colors as well. You get 2 of each sticker design in a big version and a small version, which is pretty cool. I like that little twist. And they have this gold gilding, which is a little bit tricky to see on camera here. It's very subtle, it's a little bit iridescent, but it's not kind of all in your face, you know? While we're on the topic of moons with flowers, here are 2 more of them because I cannot help myself. I got these ones in a kind of green colorway and a blue colorway as well. They look very different to the others, but I think they would work well together in a theme because obviously they have the moon tying everything together. These ones are a little bit more watercolor, the other ones are a little bit more illustrative, kind of doodly, and these ones definitely have that iridescent reflection going on, which you know I love. They're supposed to come in a set of 5 though, which it says on the packaging here. For some reason my blue set only came with 4, which is a little bit disappointing, but they are still beautiful, so I'm not super mad at it, and my green set does have them all present and accounted for, so let's have a look at that one as well. I love that these aren't just the same stickers with different colors. The different colors actually have different flowers wrapped around different moons as well, so that's quite sweet. I love these ones, they've got little daisies, and look, there's 5 of them. Isn't that nice? Like there's supposed to be. Let's take a moment to appreciate that iridescent reflection because it does add to that kind of celestial, mystical, magical kind of a vibe, which you know I do love. I love it a lot. Moving away from the celestial and firmly into the florals this time because floral ephemera will always be my jam. Let's start out with these PET sticker sheets. These ones I got in 2 different colorways. They've got dazzling flowers across the top and they are quite dazzling. You get 3 sheets in each of them. These are the blue ones on the left side, kind of blue and purple vibes. And on the right side, I've got yellow and orange ones as well. Throughout most of the year, I prefer a more sophisticated floral, which you often see in my PET tapes. I use a lot of those ones, but these ones are perfect for spring, right? They're that little bit more kind of cutesy, uplifting. Spring vibes just make me think of positivity, and they do have a lovely little gold gilding on them. It's very subtle. I can barely even pick it up on camera, and the little stars have got a touch of iridescence to them, but it's very subtle. I've always got to grab a set of PET floral stickers because they're that perfect little topper. If you put them on top of a couple of different washi tapes, you've kind of got an instant built-in theme. I didn't actually realize when I picked these ones out that they were a mix of these gold iridescent solid kind of floral designs as well as the watercolor kind of colorful designs. I don't know if I think they go together that well, but you probably could use them. I'd use them in separate themes probably, but you could use them together if you wanted to. You get 2 of each sticker, which is always nice so that you can make it stretch all the way across a bullet journal theme, and here's a little look at that reflection. I do love me the reflection shot, don't I? I need to get my hands on a black page journal because I really want to use these flowers on a black page journal because I think they'll be beautiful. Of course, I've grabbed 3 different versions here because they were so lovely, and it's going to take me a sec to work out the best way to show you because obviously I can't show you on the white pages of my journal, so here they are just on my grey desk mat instead. These actually remind me a lot of some floral appliques that I had on a romantic tutu back in my ballet days, and I think that's why I got so excited about them and got 3 different styles because it's a little bit nostalgic for me. Also, they are pretty big stickers and you only get, I think it's 5 of them to a pack, so they're not going to stretch all the way through a theme. I say that a lot because it's true. So I wanted to be able to mix and match the different flowers together so that I could have them go all the way through a full bullet journal theme if I did end up with a black page journal, because you're not going to see them on a white page, are you? So they can't really be in the journal that I have now, but I think they're worth waiting for. So might be time to go shopping for a black page journal, or maybe just use them in some, I guess, junk journal spreads maybe. I think they could actually be really good for my season changing spreads too, for a winter theme, because winter isn't really a thing here in Brisbane. It was pretty hot all through winter this year, so they could be good for that. And they do have that shiny reflection on them. It's subtle. I think it's so beautiful. I'm obsessed with these and I want to use them as soon as possible, but I'm not going to be able to. These are also basically a white flower sticker, but these are a bit more versatile because you can use them on a white page. They have a gold gilding on them, which really helps to separate them from the background, and they have some grey kind of toning and texture in them, as well as some black and a little bit of text around them. Look, I'm not sure about the text. I'm not sold on that. I haven't even kind of looked closely enough to read what they say because they're very small, but I do like them a lot. These are generally smaller stickers, so easier to use, and here's a little look at that gold gilding. These ones you're going to see a lot of in October because I have used them all over my October theme, which you'll see next week. Stick around for that if you'd like to see what I do for October. These are roses with some beautifully detailed leaves. Actually, I think there are some other kinds of flower in there too, but I don't know enough about flowers to really tell you. I got them in the purple and silver colorway as well as the black and silver. This is the purple and silver, and I think it is gorgeous, very elegant, but also a little bit grungy, you know? I don't know how to describe it. It reminds me of like emo days of flowers, you know? And then we go full gothic princess with the black version. It's like big throwbacks to the goth times, and I love it. I think it's so cool. They are super pretty. They're also a bit unexpected. They have this holographic reflection on them, which you know I love. You have to catch it on the right angle for it to be visible, so it just looks silver until you do that. Apparently black and white florals is kind of a theme for me for this haul. This is a PET tape that also has black and white florals on it, and I am also using this in October, so stick around to see that next week. This feels like taking a vintage wallpaper and putting it in your bullet journal, and I love it so much. The pattern is very intricate. It's also got some nice space around it so it doesn't look too hectic and busy on the page, and it does have that silver shiny iridescent reflection too, but again, it's subtle, so it kind of just brings this lovely texture to the page. Look at that. I do find this one really hard to separate from its backing paper though, so I've been putting some washi tape on the front section and then using that to peel away the decorated tape from the backing. Usually separating PET tapes and PET stickers from their backings is kind of my superpower. I don't know what it is about this one, or maybe I was just having an off day, I'm not sure. But that little hack works really well, and here's a close-up of the shinies in case you were interested in that. This one's a wide washi tape, and it's giving big magical girl vibes, you know, kind of Sailor Moon could be carrying this stuff around in her pocket. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. These are my colors, pinks and blues. Amazing, and much easier to separate from the release tape than the previous, which is always good. Let's stick some down so you can see what's going on here. There's a little bit of an ocean theme. There are pearls and some shells in here, but also planets and like mirrors and other such princessy kind of vibes. I think it's lovely. It's not at all shiny, it's just a matte PET tape, but I love the illustrations. They're a little bit maybe more little girlish than I would usually lean for, but I do think it's really pretty. This is just a single washi tape, you don't get a set of them. It's also not strictly floral, but it does have florals in it, so I decided it could work in this category. Princess vibes through the roof. This wide PET tape is the last of our floral section. It has this cool little directional peel off part to get you started on the tape, which I think is really cool. I've never seen that before where it shows you which direction to peel it off. The flowers on this design are quite large, but also the color palette is very subtle, so it doesn't feel overwhelming on the page at all. It's just like a little bit of something. There's lots of negative space around the flower design as well, so you can cut around it and make your own smaller stickers, or you can use it in strips like I am using it here. If you kind of layer them over each other a little bit too, it'll kind of make this solid, almost like a wallpaper situation going on too, so that's always good. I left a bit of space in between mine, but just for demonstrative purposes, you know. Again, with the subtle holographic shift in the light, I don't know if it's that everything is having this lately because it's really popular, or if it's just what I'm gravitating towards, but either way, this is very pretty, and I think it's quite similar to the Serene tape from the Washi tape shop, so options. Now we have a section just for frames in case, like me, you want to make your bullet journal look like Exo McKenna's Texas house, because what a dream. These are all from the one listing, and there are stacks of designs, but I picked the 3 that I thought were the prettiest. These are just paper, they don't have sticker backings or anything, and this is actually where I think that glue pen will come in really handy. And you can just draw your glue on the back of all these ornate bits and you don't have to worry about any of them ripping off, and it's a very gentle process. I love the idea of putting like a floral sticker behind one of these and then framing it, or cutting a piece of scrapbooking paper and making it look like a little framed piece of art. Isn't that nice? These ones are more kind of square shapes with a round opening for your little piece of artwork, so they're a bit more of a dense, bulky frame, but very ornate, very vintage vibes. Try saying that 5 times fast. Very ornate, very vintage vibes. And you do get 2 of every frame in a pack as well, which is very nice. I've layered them on top of each other just for demonstrating purposes, but you do get 2 of each frame, which is really nice. This last pack are the more rectangular frames. These are like the ones you would see in museums with like a Rembrandt painting in, which is pretty cool. And you know, there's always the option to like print a Van Gogh picture or something and stick it in your journal behind one of these. I know you can also get like Van Gogh washi tapes and stickers and stuff. Moving on to lace ephemera. This is not a category that I'd usually have, but I've got lots of these little lacy things this time. Starting with this little booklet of scrapbooking decorative paper. I think this is very like English tea party vibes, and all of them have the lace border, so that's why I'm putting it in the lace category. So you imagine like the Eiffel Tower in one of those frames, or a little teacup and teapot in one of those frames, or little bits of these flowers, right? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Just cutting a little part. You could also, of course, use the whole piece of paper as is intended. This is it against my A5 notebook to give you an idea of the size. And you do get 3 or 4, oh, maybe even 5 of each design, which is great because that gives you lots of flexibility once you get it into your journal. If you like a particular page, you've got several of it. This one's an interesting one. This is another booklet, but it has PET stickers inside, and they are all these, oh, what's this? Oh, that's just a little booklet. Okay, don't worry about that. They are all these PET lace kind of doily stickers, and you get them in white and also black for each design. And it looks like you would just tear it out and stick it in, right? But it is actually a sticker. You can peel off the backing and put it in your journal. And I love the idea of layering these again. So this would sit behind another piece of ephemera and really give it a moment, especially if you use one of the black ones on white paper. I love that idea. I was thinking about using it for October. It didn't work out, but I do plan to give them a good use soon because look how pretty they are. My goodness. Also, the white ones would look great on a black page, just saying, time to get that black page book. I accidentally went overboard on these laser kind of holographic strips. I thought that I would use them up really quickly, and then I opened one of the packets and you actually get 3 of each design in the packet. So I didn't need to buy 2 of each one, but I did. I asked for 2 and that's what I have now. And there's more to come in different designs, so much like lace strip in my journal coming soon. Big Disney princess vibes on these ones. They don't fit all the way top to bottom on an A4 journal. They're a little bit shorter than that. They would fit probably left to right across the page. And so if you made a little border out of these, it could be really, really cool if you just like bring it in far enough on the page that they will touch each other. Amazing. Could be so gorgeous. Similar but different, these are the same kind of concept, but they're a bit more of a chandelier style, and these ones have got more kind of stars on them rather than being like hearts and very froofy lace. These ones all kind of look like they're hanging, you know, like icicle lights at Christmas time. They're also a little bit shorter than the previous ones, so they won't stretch as far across the page again, but I do think these ones are actually a little bit prettier. They also take up a bit more space because dangly things. And last but not least, I'm actually using these ones in my October theme. These ones are a bit more wispy, a little bit more celestial. I think these are the prettiest of the bunch. They again don't fit all the way top to bottom across a page in an A5 journal, but I found that wasn't too bad. I actually have used these along some page edges. You'll see in October, you'll see for my next week video, but I'm very, very proud of how I used these actually. To make them stretch from top to bottom across the page, I actually just harvested some of the design from another of the same sticker and made it look like it continued, and it worked really well. And look how shiny! They're spectacular. Last one for the lace section. This one is a PET tape. So it kind of has the lace design through the back of it, and then it has this little butterfly that sits over the top. Now, you know I don't like butterflies, and the butterfly was kind of hard to see on the website, so I don't know if I would have picked this one if I'd realized the butterfly was as prominent as it is, but that's okay, we're gonna go with it. I haven't done a very good job sticking this one down, but we're also just gonna go with that and try and smooth it out with this thing, and it's gone okay. It's gone okay. Demonstrating again here with black paper because you won't see this at all on a white page, unfortunately. Once again, I need that black paper journal and I need it now. Look at those holographic butterflies dancing. Look at them shine all iridescent and rainbow. Very nice. Here's the thing though, you only get 200 centimeters of this stuff, so 2 meters, which means there's not a lot on the roll, so you're gonna have to use it sparingly, sorry. I'm calling our last section miscellaneous ephemera because it's stuff that won't fit into a category. Let's just go with that. These look like scrapbooking paper sets, right? But they're not. They're actually washi stickers that are just really big, and that's amazing. I love this so much. They look like alcohol ink swirlies, or marbling if you will, and I got them in 2 different colorways, this lovely peachy color on the left side, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to use for a reading journal spread, like at the minute I finish with this video, and this gray version, which I thought would be a bit more black, but I still really like, on the right. I am using that quite a bit in my October theme, so stick around for that next week again. And these ones have that true gold reflection on them. This is not holographic at all, it's properly gold, and I really like it. It's subtle, it's just in those certain parts of the image, but I really love the effect and the shine that that gives. And I love how easy it is to use these because they're washi, so you can just rip it. And I didn't actually realize that until I was trying to put it back in the packaging and this corner lifted up, so that was a good way to find out. If you've seen my August bullet journal theme, you'll know I'm quite into a drop capital at the moment for the fairy tale storybook vintage vibes, so this washi tape is a really good way to do that if you don't have stamps like mine. It comes on a roll with the whole alphabet, so if you want to spell out a whole word with these, you're going to have to do quite a bit of cutting and sorting through. I accidentally tore it when I was peeling it off, so I've missed some of the letters here, but I'll stick the rest down just so you can see. They have this beautiful decoration all around the letters. They're very ornate, and it's on this kind of off-white sort of beige background, which isn't my favorite because it's not one of the colors I reach for very often, but it's still a really good option if you want to emphasize the first letter of a word or something like that, and you do get lots of the letters on the roll, so that's very handy. These are also ornate letters, although in sticker version this time. I had a different colorway of these, the green ones, in my August bullet journal, and I learned from that experience that I should always have 2 packets of these because I needed more for August and I couldn't do the things with them that I wanted to do because I'd already used the letters in other places. So you get 2 of each sticker, which is great, but I used an S on my cover page and then I couldn't do weeklies because I needed 2 S's to do weeklies because Saturday and Sunday obviously, which is why 2 packets are necessary. They have other colorways in the letter stickers as well, which are super beautiful, but at the time I was looking, just about all of them were sold out, so definitely have a look if this colorway isn't your jam. They have others, but they might not be available, unfortunately. I also had a bit of trouble working out which sticker is which, and I might still have some of them wrong, but I have worked out since I did this that they have a picture of them all in order on the website, so I'm going to keep that handy as a reference when I go to use these. They also have a gold reflection, which is really hard to show up on camera, but just in those kind of like yellowy areas, what it looks on screen. Here we go. I'll show you on the Z so you can see. Reflective gold, but not holographic. Very pretty. This is the story of a semi-tropical living girl who buys snowflake stickers to live vicariously through people who live in cold places. It's me. I'm that girl. These snowflake stickers I thought were really cute though. They're a bit unexpected because they're more aqua than like an icy blue. They have that slightly green tinge to them, which I think is really pretty. I don't really know how I plan to use these, but I do really like them, and I think that that shiny kind of reflection works really well for snowflakes. I have seen snow, I just don't get to see it in my hometown, that's all. Where are all my pirate girlies at? Where are all my dark academia girlies at? These little map fragments are for us. They are so beautiful. So they are map ephemera, scrapbooking paper, right? But they've been designed to look like they've been singed around the edges, like you pulled them from a fire, like the deed for Whipstaff Manor from the beginning of Casper, you know, buccaneers and buried gold, Whipstaff doth a treasure hold. If you want to have like a pirate map to treasure in your journal, what an amazing way to do it. Is this not so cool? I've never seen anything like them. I've seen map like washi tape and stuff, but nothing like this. So the edges are uneven. They're obviously cut, like they've been done like that deliberately because they all match up perfectly, but I just think they're so cool. These ones are PET stickers. They have a bit of a floral thing going on, but I decided not to put them in the floral category. They're over here in Misc because they're a bit different. These ones are a selection of keys with flowers, books with flowers, and general steampunk things with flowers, which is kind of cool. You get 3 of each sticker by the looks of it, from what I can tell. And it's kind of funny, as soon as I saw these, I knew a theme that I was going to use them in, but it's not until May next year, so we're going to have to wait. It specifically has to be May for reasons. You'll see. So if you're into the steampunk aesthetic, they are pretty cool with the cogs and the flowers and that kind of thing. They are that little bit mysterious, a touch dark academia again, if you will. I think they're very unexpected and I like that about them. I think the fruit theme is a pretty standard like entry-level bullet journal theme to try. This is a way to level it up with these beautiful stickers. I got 2 of each of these because I didn't think there were enough in the set to tide you over for a full theme, and I got them in the apple version and also in the lemon version. So let's check out the apple version first. They're such lovely little stickers. You get these painterly little fruits and also some flowers mixed in with them. They're kind of big, but they're not like overwhelmingly big, so I think you could make them work for a theme. They're very fresh. I feel like I'll be using these for my transition into summer kind of seasonal transition spread in my journal. And this is the lemon version of the sticker set, which I wish I'd had for my reading journal when I just finished reading The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. One of the main characters is named Clementine, but Lemon for short, and it's really cute. And I think that would have been great for my reading journal spread. There's lots of lemons kind of involved, and the color scheme works with the cover of the book, so if only, but I've already done it, so it's fine. These can wait for the next opportunity. Maybe it will be my reading journal again. When I saw the cover for these scrapbooking papers and it said the medieval back garden, I was like, all right, I'm curious, I need to know. So I've grabbed 3 different versions here. It was a bit tricky to see what they'd turn out like from the website, but they're actually quite lovely. So they are this set of very storybook looking, which is of course why I was drawn to them, loose scrapbooking papers. I think this first set that I'm showing you is actually my favorite of the bunch because it just pulls very storybook. And again, remember those frames from earlier? Framing some of the artwork from this into those frames could be so amazing for a journal theme. Like, that could be incredible. I sort of want to do it for Christmas, maybe. We'll see. There's also lots of those beautiful ornate capital letters that you could pinch for your own words if they align with what you need to write, so that's great. That first one, the dark brown cover, is my favorite of the set, just because the other ones pull a little bit more religious, and I personally am not a religious person, but if you're someone who keeps a Bible journal, these could be so incredible for you. They are absolutely stunning. I think I'll be keeping to that first one, so these ones will probably go out into the world when I declutter the next time. And this one with the light brown cover is kind of somewhere in between, so I like some of the art from these ones, but some of them also still pull a little bit religious for my comfort zone, so I'm not sure if I will assimilate these ones into my collection, but they do have some gorgeous designs. At the time I picked all this stuff out, it was August, so of course my head was already in Halloween mode, which means I had to get this set of washi tapes. Actually PET tapes, but same. These were from a set of different PET tape listings that had, sets. And it was the only one I think that was Halloween-y, but I saw the cats and I could not help myself. There are 5 of them in the set. They're wide PET tapes, so they're a bit tricky for me to show you all of them on the one page, but they have these kitties in pumpkins and kitties eating pumpkins and kitties on cake stands. For the first one that I'm going to show you, it's my favorite, so I'm going to put it all the way along the top because black cats. Of course, you have to. The others I'll only be able to put halfway across the page, so I can't show you quite as much of the design, but this one here has pumpkins and books as its kind of theme, so it's got that Halloween academia vibe, but it's also it's a little bit camp, These ones I'm also having trouble peeling off the roll, so I'm resorting to my washi tape lifting method again. I didn't have the mojo for peeling off PET tape. I don't know what to tell you. If you are in the mood for Halloweenizing your bullet journal, this is a really cute little set. It could be a whole theme. You can mix and match them, or you could just base it all around one of these tapes. This one has more of a haunted mansion kind of Addams Family vibe with the old Victorian house and the gravestones in the yard and the ghosts and the bats. It's very classically Halloween, which I love. In the bottom right, we'll do another one here. This one is kind of like the ghosts are having a party and they're very excited about their pumpkins, and it's also got some little spider webs and stuff like that around. The ghosts are singing, they're having a really good time. And the last one has more of a skull theme, but they're cute skulls, right? They're not intimidating skulls, they're very adorable. These ones aren't gold-gilded or holographic at all, they are just the flat PET sticker, but I think they're so much fun. And I'm thinking maybe reading journal, what do you reckon? Despite being known for my dislike of butterfly stickers, I picked these ones out because I just thought they were too pretty to pass up. And to be totally honest, to me, these ones don't look so much like butterflies. I mean, they do, they look like butterflies, but they look like fairy wings to me as well at the same time, And I'm sure fairy wings in art are somewhat inspired by butterfly wings. These are gorgeous. I think maybe the thing for me with the butterflies is when they've got those little legs, they're a little bit creepy. These ones don't have that, so it's totally fine. And if you look really closely at the center of the butterfly, it doesn't actually look like an insect body, it looks like little jewels or something. So that's why I can abide these ones. They may or may not show up in a theme soon, we'll have to see, but I think they're so gorgeous. I got 2 packets, slightly different colors. The ones on the left are kind of blue and gold, and the ones on the right are a little bit more purple, blue, and pink, like a general standard iridescence. They're all very shiny, they're all very lovely and super magical. Look at that shiny. So spectacular. Remember how excited I was about the Halloween black cat PET tape? Well, same kind of thing, just a different situation. So these ones are more like tuxedo cats, although some of them are just solid black. If you don't know, I have a black and white cat. His name is Mitsu and he's wonderful. He's not in this video, but he quite often shows up in my haul videos, so don't know why he didn't want to be in this one. He must have thought there were already enough cats. But these are PET cat stickers. They're so lovely. You get 2 sheets of each of them, and I kind of wish I'd used these for my Traveling Cat Chronicles spread in my reading journal, sorry. I didn't have them yet then, unfortunately, but look at this little cutie, look how proud he is. They're all so sweet. And this is our very last item for the video, well 2, because I got it in 2 different colors. These ones are some beautiful stickers in the style of traditional Chinese festival kind of stuff. I myself am not from Chinese culture, but my boyfriend and his family are, and so I do celebrate Chinese New Year with them every year, and I always like to have a little something to celebrate that in my journal. I just think it's really nice. So these are kind of what I'm thinking I'll use for that next year. It will be the Year of the Dragon, and this feels really appropriate for that. Also, I mean, this year feels like the Year of the Dragon to me a little bit too because of 4th Wing, but you know. On the left are the more reddish pinkish set, which are really beautiful. Some of them are ladies that are dancing or reading or doing other stuff. Some of them are more like little cherry blossom branches or flowers. They're quite small, which makes them really easy to work into a bullet journal design without being overwhelming. You can be a little bit less minimal, I think, when stuff is smaller. You can layer it a little bit more easily. And then on the right, we'll do the blue version. So this one is similar kind of design, but different stickers. You don't get the exact same stickers in different colors in each set, which I always really like. This one's got clouds and lanterns and more little people, little fans and that kind of thing. I think they're so gorgeous, and hopefully you can catch a little bit of that gold gilding on screen. It's a little bit tricky to pick up. The holographic stuff is easier to show up on camera, but I can't wait to use these. I think they're really elegant, really beautiful, and will help me ring in the Year of the Dragon in my journal in extra style this time. Here's an attempt to show you that gold gilding, but again, it's really hard to see on camera. The torchlight doesn't show it up so much because they are plastic stickers, and so the plastic is also shiny, but you can kind of see it there. And so concludes the JournalSay haul. That was loud, of September 2023. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what your favorite item from the haul is down below. If you have stuff in your JournalSay cart, I want to know what you're shopping for. Let's compare notes. Once again, if you want a discount on all things JournalSay, you can use my code Erin, E-R-I-N, here it is, for 8% off at JournalSay. If you want to see some of these stickers in action, make sure you are subscribed for next week because I'm using a fair few of them actually in my October setup. So that's next week's video. You gotta stick around and see. It's one of my favorites. I've had so much fun. Huge thanks once again to JournalSay for working with me on this video. Don't forget to go and check them out. All the links are in the description. Until next week, I hope you have a wonderful week. Stay safe and happy. I'll see you then. Bye.